Today we will discuss about the glass enclosure we have placed here on the cabinet for Sibu Peat Swamp Ditch. You can see here this is completely made up of glass. The thickness of the glass is 4 mm. Yeah, you can see here the thickness of the glass is 4 mm, and this is completely clear glass, or this is extra clear glass, and all the edges are smooth. Here you can see the length of the tank, or the length of the enclosure is 18 inches, and about the depth of the tank or depth of the enclosure is about 12 inches or 1 feet. It is just more than 1 feet because of this extra one. The effective space is 1 feet. And coming to the height in the front, it is 7.2 inches in the front, and in the back about it is 12 inches. In the back side it is 12 inches, in the front it is about 7.2 inches. So this gives the slope for the enclosure. This will act both as breeding setup for Betta brownorum and also the biotope tank for Betta brownorum once it has bred. Important character what you have noticed here is this: we have a lid or an enclosure or the closure for the setup. There is a very important reason why we have this. There are several important reasons. First one is these bettas are very good jumpers. So if you don't have a heavy closure on this, they might jump off from the tank. The next reason is when the fry are born, these fry are very little ones. So there is a special character for these bettas. So bettas has a special organ just above their gills. For example, this is a betta, and it has its mouth here. Here it will have a gills. Or just above the gills, it will have a specialized organ known as labyrinth. This labyrinth is extremely important for bettas. The reason for it is they live in low oxygen conditions. The ditches or the places where they live, it is extremely deprived of oxygen. So in order to get additional oxygen, these bettas has developed a adaptation by this labyrinth. What this labyrinth does is bettas come up and engulf air. From that air, this labyrinth directly takes the oxygen, as we human beings take the oxygen from the air, right? In the same way, betta fishes also can take the oxygen from the air, not only from the water. Gills are used to take oxygen from the water. In the same way, labyrinth is used to take the oxygen from the air. So, in order to develop this labyrinth organ for the baby fishes, or when the fry is very small, they need high level of moisture in the tank. If the tank is less of moisture, these will develop some defects in developing the labyrinth organ. That's the reason for betta fries to survive, we need this strong enclosure to capture moisture within it. Next important reason why we are having this close or cap, this one you can see here, to have the moisture inside. This moisture prevent the bubble nest. So bubble nest is a nest made by the male bettas while breeding. So they take some air and they mix with the water. Because of the surface tension, it forms a bubble, and this bubble is dropped just above the surface of the water. This becomes the nest, and the male and female have a courtship just below that nest, and these eggs and babies are attached to that bubbles. So in order to have that good safety for the bubble nest, if it is dry and there is no moisture in the air, this bubble nest will get damaged and we will not have the proper fry or the babies of the betta fish. That's the reason, to develop the bubble nest and to have good healthy bubble nest, we need to trap the moisture inside. That's the reason we use this closure. One more important reason to have moisture within this enclosure is, so we need to have stable temperature and also moisture. You know that Malaysian peat swamp, especially the peat swamps or Sibu, are very humid. So it has high humidity. If we have high humidity in the tank or the enclosure, it will maintain constant temperature and also humidity within it. So this is very important for breeding the fish and also keeping the fish healthy. One more important reason, and the final important reason for having this closure, is we need to maintain high humidity and normal temperature, constant temperature, because it mimics the natural habitat of the bettas. These bettas comes from very humid region, and it is full of moisture. Same thing we have to replicate in this tank as well. And you can see this tank, there are no stickers or no stoppers or something else for this one. The reason is we want to have clear vision into what is happening. We can shoot from above as well. This is a clear glass as well. We can shoot from right, we can shoot from left, we can shoot from behind, and we can shoot from front as well. So this gives us the chance to capture the betta fishes and their behavior and the behavior of the fry in detail. And one more important thing you can notice here is there is a small opening here, right? This opening is here. If we want to introduce a air line, small air tube into this, okay, we can introduce it and we can close it as well. Or if you want to introduce the air bubbles, so this is the best way. So you can just have a pump here. From the pump you can introduce a air bubble from this as well. Yeah, and once the betta fish are born, they become big. There is no need for this list to have here. We can completely remove and we can just have this to prevent the jumping of the bettas. So this is about the enclosure for Sibu Peat Swamp. In the next episode, we will discuss about the accessories we are using. So, what type of light we are using, and definitely we need air bubbles within the tank once the betta fry are born. So, what type of air bubbles we are using, and are we using any sponge, filter sponge? So, all these things we will set up tomorrow. Thank you.
Igbokan habitats.